Hi, Ellie. We are in a time and a place when we must say Joe Biden is not giving out free crack pipes. So
let's just emphasize a couple of things here, right? Like the story that Joe Biden was giving out free crack pipes was invented by Tom Cotton because he didn't want to fund a $30 million Ronald Reagan program about drug harm reduction, all right? So that's number one. Number two, I don't call people stupid idly, but to emphasize how freaking dumb Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Understand, she said the word gazpacho police, right? Which really shows that she has no idea what she's talking about, because nobody says Gestapo police, right? It's the Gestapo
right.
or the secret police,
right?
She merged two things, which just shows a level of idiocy not often seen in these United States.
It's before you even get to the soup-related part. Okay, so... wow, we are just done with racist dog whistles, right? We're just like, free crack pipes, right? I mean, I don't.
Michael Harry did a thread, right? That just to remind people that more white people use drugs than black people in raw numbers. There are more white meth heads than there are black crack smokers. I mean, there are all these things around it, right? That you can say, but it was just a straight. Let's do some racism for an entire news cycle on Fox News while another round of indictments has happened, while another round of subpoenas. Indictments, because we know who our attorney general is. While another round of subpoenas are happening, while more evidence is coming out of the corruption and crimes of the previous administration, let's have a whole news cycle about crack.
Yeah,
it's worked for us before.
But I mean, we're just done with dog whistles. Whether it's who's the right wing group about the we have the pre-Super Bowl panic, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the halftime performers are black. So there's already, what are they calling it? Satanic panic.
Yep.
It's going to be a satanic ritual, according to some right wing QAnon something, and then you cut to the Confederate flag at the trucker thing. I don't know. Is it me or is it just? Stuff? Pardon me.
70. You know who else is black stuff?
Who?
70% of the players in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Black. Yes. So maybe it's okay if a black person also sings and dances at halftime.
Okay, so you tweeted about the your 9-year-old having a conversation with him about the N-word. So you said, I guess, a black friend at school said that another black person called him the word, and the friend was confused, as was my kid. I mean, Joe Rogan said the video compilation of him saying the N-word, I believe it is 24 times, is a political hit job because, it's all smushed together. He also said he initially thought as long as he used the racial slur in context, the audience would understand what he was doing. Your thoughts?
No. So Chris Rock has this joke. It's old now, but it came out. It was one of his specials right after Kramer from Seinfeld got in hot water for shouting the N-word, right? And Chris Rock said this man shouted the N-word unprompted for 5 minutes. What does a man have to do to be racist in this country? Shoot Medgar Evers? And that's what I feel about Joe Rogan. Like if saying the N-word repeatedly on your show is not enough for people to say, like, hey, that guy might be some racist. Like, if that's not what does Rogan actually have to do to make people feel like he's racist? Does he have to literally put on a hood? And that's the thing that you see with a lot of white people. It's like, if the racism doesn't come with a hood, if it doesn't come with a burning cross, if it doesn't come with some rope, then they act like it can't be true. Then they act like it can't exist. And that's simply not the case. That's simply not the case. It is entirely possible to be a racist jerkface while also, keeping your bullets in your gun instead of going out onto the street and shooting the first black person you see.
Yeah. Well,
racism does not require vigilante violence to make it wrong and dangerous.
Yeah. Well, because he was saying, I'm not sure what the context is that a white person can say the N-word in a non-racist way 24 times. But okay. For instance, Chris, you and I have a story we told. We will tell you that. But again, we never said the N-word. Mm-hmm. When Larry Elder was running for governor, we talked about that our show used to follow his, and we knew him very well at KBC. And my best friend and executive producer at the time was an African-American woman. We would always have to check topics. Like, what did, the host before you do so you didn't repeat topics? That's what you did back in the talk radio day. So that was a running joke that we would say, what did Larry talk about today? And she would say, because she was African-American, she would say, same thing he talks about every day, N-words ain't. and N-words ain't S. So, but again, I wouldn't say the word, but she could because she's African American. So, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, look, I can. I generally don't.
Right.
You ever see that? There's that episode of 30 Rock where where like Tracy Morgan tries to get Twofer to say it, and Twofer says it, and then like Tracy Morgan gets in a fight. It's like, oh, it just sounds so painful coming from you. Like I can't quite pull it off in fairness. Like it's just, But it's also like I never want to. The other reason why I don't, even though I can, why I don't say it, is that I never want to give white people license,
right,
or perceived license to say it to me or around me. I have an experience with this. In college, and this is sorry to be on your couch right now, but in college, one of my good friends in college around the dorm, like around, privately, white guy would refer to me as, what's up, my N-word, right? And like the first time it happened, I didn't say anything. And like the second time it happened, I was like, dude, okay, I get it. Like, but I didn't like make a huge deal out of it.
Right.
We're playing PlayStation 1 Tekken, whatever. He, a couple of weeks after, so now it's like testing the fences. So like you said it a couple of times in private, nothing bad's happened. Now we're in the dining hall, and he's like, oh, that's Elie, that's my N-word.
In
the middle of this crowded dining hall. So I punch him. So because like that's my only recourse at that point. Like now we have to fight, right?
Yeah.
And he is shocked. Like we are roommates. He is shocked that I just hit him in the chin for him calling me a racial slur. So we scuffle and whatever, and then we get back to the room, later. And he's like, "Why did you hit me?" And I'm like, "You can't. That's not a word you're allowed to say.
Yeah.
You're just not allowed. Like." I don't care what other people have told you. I don't care what other black people have told you. You are not allowed to say that word. It's the one word you can't say. It's your one tax for being part of the race that enslaved and oppressed people for 400 years. You've lost the privileges to say a word.
Yeah.
It's not a word that it's not a word that my wife is from Africa, from Zimbabwe. It's not a word that either of us are comfortable using.
What? Just quickly, because I know we have to get to the law. By the way, we should stipulate that college was Harvard. What did you say to your 9-year-old? How did you explain it to him? Just quickly, I was curious.
I told him that any word can be made a slur if you say it long enough with enough vitriol and hate in your heart. And so I gave him an example. I mean, imagine if I said, "You dumb spoon. I'm going to take all your Pokemon cards today, you dumb, ugly, smelly spoon." I explained to him that, like, after a while, I wouldn't have to put the rest of the adjectives on. Just the word spoon would make him would hurt his feelings and whatever. And that white people have decided that the N-word is that word for us. Okay. And they have used that against us, not once or twice, but millions of white people, millions of times over hundreds of years. And that's why that word is so hurtful. I told him that it's not that the word itself has power. It's that the people who use it think they have power over you, and they're trying to do it to hurt your feelings. That's why it hurts.
That's great. Now you've ruined a spoon for me. Now I don't even want to cuddle in bed with anyone.